You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show.
Hi everybody, Bing is for doing, and here at AFTERBUZZ TV we're doing another Project Runway Season 14, Episode 4, Tie the Knot Recap. And what an eventful episode it was.
Yes.
We got to see them make outfits for marriage equality.
Yeah, very interesting.
I'm Alina, and these are my lovely co-hosts. Let's go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Amanda Fields and...
Hey, I'm Stef Z.
Before we get into the show, you guys, I just wanted to put out an Amber Alert because Sandro is missing.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. You guys
threw me for a loop for a second.
I was like, what is she doing?
Our
Like,
very emotional co-hosts right here, Steph and Amanda, got really worried.
we didn't get worried about Sandro.
Yes, you guys did. I could
I'm
tell.
a sucker.
You wanted him to stay.
You guys, streets of New York, if you see a dark-haired Russian man cursing and in tights,
You might not
stand
be able
back.
to understand him.
He
Stand
sounds
back.
a little bit like Borat.
Yes.
Just saying.
Please contact Tim Gunn, a.k.a. Top Gun. I'm worried, you guys. I'm worried. That's why I want to start crying, because Sandro is
I wonder what
missing.
else really happened, though, because like, someone had to follow him. Like, he's got to be under some sort of contract.
Why would anybody follow him? Do you think a producer, like, ran out and chased him down?
There's got to be some. He had to come back. He has to know he's not on the show. Like, there's got to be something that we didn't hear about. It has to be.
I think he knew what he was doing when he walked out, that he was like, oh,
Yeah.
whatever, guys.
I know we're skipping to the end a little bit, but I think it was so interesting that he was like making fun of Helen, that she couldn't keep her cool. Like, why are you going crazy? And then he went crazy and left.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So
I love how they started this episode. We didn't start with a challenge like we usually do. We started with the end of the show, and then
Right.
they retract and showed us what went down.
yeah, which I think too is while we were watching that fight, I think we were all kind of like, okay, Sandra's going to be leaving, and someone, no matter who, like they're going to be safe. So I think it totally showed us that something different was going to happen in the end.
We knew he had lit a fuse. Something was going down.
Yeah.
So the challenge, let's get into it. This was a bow tie challenge.
My favorite.
Steph's favorite and Ken's.
Yes,
Ken
I
has
love
some-
bow ties. I don't know what it is. I love bow ties.
The special guest was Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and he came to talk about this charity he started called Tie the Knot, where the proceeds go to support gay marriage. So it's nice to see that they're doing something
Yes.
really charitable.
And the bow ties are really special, too. I love all the different silk bow ties, the different fabrics. They're really beautiful colors. And it just...
It's an interesting way to be charitable. It's an interesting way to bring attention to something, because not that I think that it's an actor or a celebrity or somebody has a certain platform's responsibility to do something like that, but it's a very unique way that he's, taking charge in something that he believes in. So I give him a lot of credit for what he's doing.
And let's talk about what the organization actually does. They sell these beautiful bow ties, and the proceeds go to his organization, which supports marriage equality. And what the contestants had to do is incorporate at least one of these bow ties, and of course be inspired by the bow ties when it came to their designs.
And also, Tim was saying it must evolve from the traditional suit and tie look. Don't send your model out looking how
Like a
Tim
tuxedo.
Gunn would dress.
Exactly.
It has to be more feminine than that.
And they had 30 minutes to sketch, 30 minutes at Mood, a day for the challenge, and the suggested amount was about $200.
Right.
So,
And that was very interesting to me because, as we've talked about with GoBank, they can really spend whatever they want. But I think they're trying to help the designers budget their money when they say suggested amount $200. And it was interesting to see who spent a reasonable amount, like $170, $180, and who spent $400 and what it ended up looking like.
yeah, it's kind of funny to me that they're coddling the designers and suggesting an amount. You would assume that since they gave them these cards, they'd allow them to spend whatever they thought.
Well, too, I think there's a strategy involved with the budget as well, because it's like if you were doing bad for a few weeks, you're like, all right, 200, let me not, like they might spend the extra money because they think they have to do something wow. Or if you're safe, okay, let me save a little bit of money because like Helen could have, got $100 worth of stuff. You know what I mean? And she could have saved money knowing that she had immunity to this challenge. So I think that, I don't know how much they're telling them. Again, we don't know if the money, or if the fabric and stuff they can use from challenge to challenge, but I'm sure there's a little bit more that goes into that part of, the go card and stuff.
I think it's pretty clear at this point that they can't use it. Oh, at least so far in the season.
They can't reuse it?
Reuse the extra fabric. It looks like it's a clean slate every episode so far.
Well, also the same thing, even if they could, sometimes that fabric won't work for the next look, and you kind of don't want to have anything that looks
But
like
even
your
like
last
buttons, fasteners, stuff like that,
Sure.
that you can just have. Like I don't mean, you know what I mean? Because clearly they couldn't use any like last week at Coney Island, like they had to use specific stuff. You know what I mean? But I mean like having a stock of like basics to use that you can kind of use with any design, thread, like whatever it is.
Well, does Project Runway provide those things, like something like
I
as
think
basic
do.
as a zipper or buttons?
I think they
don't know.
provide thread for sure.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think some of the things like zippers, hook and eyes, buttons are probably around. It's been so long since I was there. I don't remember if they supplied all of those things or if
Right.
that was part of what they had to shop for at Mood.
Yeah,
Right.
interesting. We should ask our next guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone
That'd be-
refresh my memory, please.
Yeah, if anyone knows the answer to that question. Because, yeah, if it's a clean slate and they have 0 every challenge, which, they might, would be interesting. to
Also,
know.
I wasn't really involved in that part of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Before we get into the workroom, because we saw a lot there, I wanted to talk about Serial Buddies. It's our AfterBuzz's creators, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro's movie. It's out on iTunes and VOD, I believe. You can go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check it out there. We really just appreciate the support. It's a great movie, hilarious.
So funny.
So cute. And the actress from Two Broke Girls
Beth
is in it.
Bears,
Yeah,
yes.
she's adorable.
Yeah.
Henry Winkle is the narrator.
Yeah.
Maria's in it.
Winkle?
Yeah.
Winkler?
It's kind of like
Winkler.
Dexter meets. Oops. Yeah. It's kind of like Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. Super funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys go out and support. And while you're on iTunes downloading Serial Buddies, make sure to rate us, comment, give us your critique, what you love about the show, what you hate. We always want to get better, and we do the show for you guys, so keep it
That's
going.
right.
Sweet.
Yep. All right, let's get to the workroom. So we see them go to Mood. I know this isn't technically the workroom, but we have to mention that Sue spends $400 at Mood. Kind of crazy when everybody else is spending $200 and less.
Yeah, it was a crazy approach, and it was very clear that right away she was making 2 things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like she was just buying for one thing. She bought excess stuff to make it great. She, in her mind, was from the beginning gonna make 2 things, and it's odd that it's 400. It was like almost exactly double. You know what I mean?
I think she went into Mood really not knowing what she wanted to do at all. That's why she bought so much, because she's like, well, if I don't like one thing, I can at least make something out of the other.
Right.
We see in past seasons that the indecisive designers don't do very well. So I'm kind of worried about Sue. She seems like this is her style. She even mentioned it to Tim Gunn. We'll talk about that later. But she says, yeah, this is how I design.
Yeah.
At least I'll have an option.
And
because
she was an early favorite of mine, and now
Me too.
you're right. I'm starting to think, where is the cool aesthetic that she began with the sexy ruching and
No,
I wonder too if like attitude along the way has something to do with it. I mean, last week she was, which to them is a day or two ago, she was paired up with Sandro, and that was such a tumultuous relationship. And maybe she's feeling a little bit more insecure because, again, I'm with you, Amanda. Like in the beginning, she was one of my favorites, and now it's like, wait, where'd Sue go?
yeah, I think the fact that she's indecisive and she can't sew.
Yeah.
Bye, Sue. All right, so
Sue.
let's start with the workroom. Sandra walks in sulking. He was quite the negative Nancy today, right?
isn't that kind of his mood ongoing?
Yeah, that's his shtick.
I don't know. He's like black and white. Either he's jumping.
sulking, or like having a big party.
Yeah,
He's
or really
very,
loud.
very extreme. He doesn't know,
Yeah.
like, medium, let's just quiet down and get to work.
I think we could do a whole recap on Sandro one-liners.
Oh my goodness.
I think we could, too.
Well, here's one of them. Dom was working on her beautiful black and white striped, and they were little pinstripes, and she created this cool structured dress that was form-fitting, bodycon, and it was very graphic. The way she played with the stripes, just black and white, but she was able to do a chevron in the back and a really cool shoulder and adding in different bow ties. And she was playing around with how to lay the bow ties on the dress. And she had it on her work table, and she's like, what do you guys think this looks like? And Sandro just comes over and says, what is that called? A clam? Clams! Oh, Yankee vagina forever. What is it with Sandro and vagina?
He started with
Every
vagina, like
time.
seafood, like
Yeah.
seafood. What's the seafood?
Yeah.
And then he finally figured out he was talking about clam.
Yeah.
And he thought it was
Thank
hilarious.
you for clearing that up.
I feel like Elena, though, you liked him. He was one of your favorites.
Liked. It's more like loved.
You did. You loved him.
It's entertainment at its
Yeah.
core. The shirts. Did you see his outfit last week on the runway? He was wearing like circa Biggie Smalls Versace. It was probably a knockoff. And then the crisscross one buckle overalls on top of that. It's like
And it was
90s,
like folded underneath,
90s
kind of.
overload.
He's
and
And
all
then, like,
about
he had like newspaper pants on earlier. These like his pants that had like a newspaper print, and then he had a newspaper shirt on later.
He's all
What
about
is,
the
like-
90s style.
Yeah.
What about the spandex T-shirts with the graph?
I think they might be rayon.
Okay, rayon, whatever. Polyester.
Polyester.
They're fabulous.
Whatever
Yeah.
clings to his body.
Yeah.
And with cargo pants, nonetheless. Fantastic. I'm sorry,
I
we're
think-
digressing.
I think
This
though-
is turning
yes.
into the Sandro show.
Yes.
No,
it
I think
is.
it's very interesting from the beginning how they were saying how Braden called the challenge. Like he was saying before that he knew it was going to be like a gay marriage outfit. And
Yeah.
then it was funny because Sandro called him a witch. Like
Yeah,
that he
he
was
did.
like predicting the future. That was how Sandro, like that was the start of Sandro, the Sandro night.
He
Sandro
didn't call him
episode.
Braden. He calls him Irish. Which
Yeah.
I find
Yeah.
so amazing.
Irish was saying last night that
Yeah.
he thought it was going to be a gay wedding challenge.
Yeah.
Irish.
And then cute Braden is all like trying to make it serious, right away. He's like, I haven't been able to marry my partner. We've been together for 18 years. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard when he gets government documents to like circle, single or married. So it was really cute. And I don't know if they like added all that in because of what happens later, but it was
touching.
It was so sweet.
you didn't cry.
I didn't cry.
She laughed at us for crying. You laughed at us.
Waterworks to my left and right. It was funny.
It's all right. I'm okay with that.
I'm usually the one crying, so finally I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
I'm always that girl.
Let's talk about Tim's visit. He goes to Dom first, and he's pretty impressed by the stripes, the origami detail. The only thing he suggests is that she gets the pattern right.
Yeah. Well, and to get rid of the piping.
Yes.
Yeah. So, which I think was awesome because he was like, focus on the structure of this. Make sure it all lines up. What you're doing is hard. And she totally listened. And a lot of times people don't. And I think that she was very, very smart for listening because that could have been a disaster, that
As
dress.
soon as she took the piping off, it made it look so much better.
Yeah.
And Dom was even considering adding a jacket. And Tim Gunn said, you need to really focus on what you're doing with
Yeah.
the dress, making sure everything about it is exactly right. and spend your time doing that instead of making a jacket. And he was so right.
So
Yeah.
right. It worked in her favor.
Yeah.
Then he goes off to Sue. She has the 2 garments with the $400 she spent, and Tim's kind of confused. He's like, "You have 2 garments. What's going on?"
Yeah. And I think too, that's when she explains that that's the way that she designs, and maybe it works for her, but for me, who's done stuff like this before and made lines that have been sold in stores, like if you always design double, like that just seems like so not efficient. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's more so you got to kind of own what you think and just go with it, which Tim was saying later to Sandro, the same kind of thing. Like, you don't design for the store. You don't design for, like, clearly you take all that information into hand, but you have to know, like, what you want to do and have enough confidence to do it. And I feel like she completely displayed no confidence.
I think Sue had 1 foot here and 1 foot there with her 2 dresses, and neither one were great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
neither one worked.
It just, you could tell she couldn't decide. She was wishy-washy, and it looked like that on the runway. And a lot of different designers chimed in, even in the workroom, to say it looks like seaweed. It looks like, what were some of the other things?
Well, the
Kelp.
judges called it like
seaweed and kelp.
Octopus.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the judges and
Tentacles.
stuff.
alien
And don't get me wrong, like, I love the bow tie, so seeing a bow tie train was kind of cool, but it just didn't add, because the original piece, like, if the added bow ties would have accentuated other things in the dress, I feel like it could have worked, but it didn't. It was just like she had this dress and she just put this like bow tie thing on top and
Yeah.
called it a day.
It was almost like she couldn't decide what to do with the bow tie. So she's just like, I'm just going to make a dress and then make a thing to go over top out of bow ties and just
Right.
put it together.
It was under-designed.
Yeah.
No thought. Or maybe too much thought in her case.
Right.
Kate, she went and took a little risk by making some pants and a top. Tim was impressed. He gave her some insight, but I think overall he liked what she was doing.
Yeah.
And she was using leather, which isn't her normal fabric choice. And she decided to do, she described a hunting party equestrian look.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of her look this week. I would wear that beautiful
too.
pair of pants.
I was too,
Gorgeous.
and I was a little nervous when she said that stuff in the beginning. When she was like, I'm going for a hunting equestrian, I was like, okay, where is she going with this? But then when she was saying how she wanted to tuxedo stripe, but to be form of the bow tie, I was like, okay, maybe she's going to go somewhere good with this.
Yeah. Sandro, he, first thing we see is he renames Tim Gunn, Top Gun. And Tim loves it, so he accepts the name. But they didn't even get into his outfit because right off the bat, Sandro's like, I want to know what they want from me. He complains about Zach posing again and how they always say too much. And Tim Gunn tells him, like, no, be yourself, like you mentioned.
Right.
We want you to design what you want to design. Don't consider what they're telling you.
Yeah, he even took it a step further and he challenged Zach Posen to a one-on-one challenge. He said, he was complaining about the time, which again, I feel like that's almost in bad taste. Like, everyone that watches Project Runway at this point knows that this is the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a short amount of time, limited resources, tensions are high, little sleep, lots of stress. Make something, and you know what I mean. So it's like to continuously be like, I didn't have enough time. I did It's just like, dude, make something.
You're not the only one.
Quit complaining. You don't have a lot of time. Use that time to make something.
Yeah.
He clearly didn't come on the show to make dresses. I think he came on to be a drama queen.
And
But
he succeeded.
He's gonna be somewhere else. He'll be on like the Fashion Police or something.
some of his designs were really beautiful, though. I liked the one he made that was like tan and black lace.
Some were good, a lot were terrible. But he's like, with that attitude, how are you gonna last in the industry of fashion with an attitude like that? I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, his taste is very questionable.
Yeah.
And
The
Zach
attitude
Posen
is
was
fabulous.
right. How 1 week he was one designer, 1 week he was another designer. He couldn't tell who he was.
Have you seen The Last Emperor, Valentino's documentary? Listen, attitude is okay.
Yes, that's so funny. Yes,
I mean, I hate to compare God. This is blasphemous.
Yeah,
Valentino to Sandro.
No, let's not.
Please forgive me, fashion gods. But
That's so funny. Yeah.
Some designers do have an attitude, but at least they have
Karl
enough.
Lagerfeld.
at least they're smart enough to have a lot
Yeah,
of
but he
people
backs
around
it up.
them.
Yeah,
To
and
balance it
Sandro has
out.
the attitude and he's not backing it up. Come on, let's call it how it is.
And Karl Lagerfeld is Karl Lagerfeld.
That's
Exactly.
true.
There's a little bit of a difference. You're losing me on those.
I'm just going to shut the up. Okay. Helen, she falls apart after Tim's advice. She loses all confidence, and she even mentions that she questions her work after critique. Not the
She-
right show, girl.
Yeah, she wanted to go in a direction of recreating the shape of a bow tie vertically on a dress with gray fabric, which was kind of cool. And I think if she had stuck with her original structure, it wouldn't have been so bad. But then her confidence level dropped, and I think she started overcompensating and overdoing it, and it became this big, crazy mess. But Helen, just trust yourself. That's what
Yeah.
Tim was trying to say.
yeah.
You have to trust yourself and be confident in your decisions on this show.
The colors were very like blah to me though. Like the canvas she creates for herself sometimes are just like.
That's right. I don't know about her color choices.
Yeah.
Drab.
Well, and then we have the time warriors. Braden's worried about time. Miranda's worried about time. Braden's sewing last minute, since his top was hand stitched, so
Yeah.
that's probably really time consuming. Sue's dresses look pretty stupid, and everybody in the workroom is commenting on that.
Yeah, I feel like too. Something that we passed over was Miranda's. How Tim really liked her jacket,
Yeah.
but was like kind of concerned what else she was gonna do. You know what I mean? She was like almost designing from the outside in, which totally can work. You know what I mean? But she then put that like crazy looking like scarfy thing,
Yeah, she had
like
this
lapel.
Yeah.
pale pink little scarf on her form with the jacket, and Tim said, I'm afraid of this looking mumsy, too old-fashioned. You want to make sure it looks young and fresh.
Yeah.
So she eventually put in an emerald green top that she made at the last minute. And she was saying, well, I need a top for my model to wear. Right now it's just a jacket and a skirt. And at first it was really pretty tucked in, and then she made this last minute decision that did not bode well for her.
Yeah, she cropped the top, and it didn't work.
I think we should give a little shout out to Jeremy too.
Yes.
And, sorry for your loss,
Oh.
Jeremy. We're all sending you love.
Yep.
It's got to be really difficult to lose a loved one and to continue on with something like this, and to make that choice that he's not going to go home to his family, to continue with something that he believes so much in. We love you.
Yeah, and he made a look inspired by the grandma who passed.
Yeah.
So
Which was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yes, he incorporated this beautiful red lace into his jacket and put a piece of red silk around the model's neck and just kind of draped it over the jacket to emulate a bow tie. And
Right.
I thought that was really special that he was inspired by his grandmother.
Yeah, this was a pretty sentimental episode.
Yeah.
Definitely.
With,
No tears from Alina.
no, I'm cold-blooded. What can I say?
Apparently, we found that out tonight. Jeez. If anything ever happens, I'd be like, Amanda, can you come here, please?
Amanda was like holding my hand during the hugging. Aw, you're so sweet.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And we got to iTunes, so let's get to the runway, because that way we can
Oh, yes. Let's get to the runway.
talk about the whole incident at the end as well.
Oh, yeah. This was a great fashion show tonight.
It was a great fashion show, and the guest judge was Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who, started the whole organization Tie the Knot.
And I don't know if we mentioned, we should say he is an actor on the big hit show Modern Family.
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought everybody knew. He always wears the wonderful bow ties. He's the redhead married to Cam. What's his character's name?
His character is Cam.
No, Cam is his husband's name
It is?
on the show.
That's right.
I forget.
Moving along.
Moving along. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
His real
He's
name is
great.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
is
right, right. But his spouse on the show,
is Cam.
that's right. I can't think of
it's
his
gonna
name. It's
bother me.
escaping me.
All right. So anyway,
I
he's the guest
apologize.
judge. Heidi comes out. Let's talk about her look. She's got the stick straight hair, a hot bodycon sequence backless dress.
But Steph has
That's
a big
all
problem.
And
goes
then
to crap
a
when she's got a
cheesy-
cheesy, crooked bow tie. How does that happen?
It looked like an afterthought. Like, okay, Heidi, this is your look. Do you want to wear a bow tie because it's a bow tie challenge? Yeah, I guess.
if it's a bow tie challenge, why couldn't she wear like a dope YSL suit with the bow tie.
Yeah. Oh, what a good idea,
Yeah.
Alina.
I mean,
Stylist.
you might as well just go for it.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? And I was disappointed. This is the first outfit I was just like, what are you wearing?
But she did look really good in
But
the
she
dress.
always looks good. She's going to look good in almost any dress unless
true.
the dress is terrible. But that styling together, especially when they're doing something like this, like she should have looked stunning.
The
Well,
dress
she
was
didn't.
good. Take the bow tie off. If you're gonna make it that cheesy, take it off.
But
It's
her
not
hair and
necessary.
makeup were amazing. Really pretty. Really,
Yeah.
really nice.
That
And
always happens with
from one not so great bow tie to my favorite bow tie of the night, it was actually in a model's hair.
Yes.
Dom's model. Dom had the best idea when she took her model to the L'Oreal Paris hair and makeup room, because she told the hairstylist, "Can you actually make my model's hair into a bow tie?" And they were so talented to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
before though.
Yeah, I've seen something. similar to that.
It reminds me of something that Lady Gaga might have done, but it
think
was
she has.
perfect for this episode.
Yeah,
It worked.
It was creative. It really tied the whole thing together.
Let's get into it then. Dom's look was actually the first one.
Yeah.
I thought it was adorable. She made the cocktail length striped dress with the bow tie detail at the neckline, and it didn't look cheesy. It was really well done. The fit was amazing. It was fun. I'd wear it. I think it's commercial enough, but edgy enough as well.
And the bow ties that she chose to put around the neckline were complementary colors. So it was like this hot pink with a pale blue and I think a darker blue. And then she paired it with, for her model, a beautiful pink pair of heels that, you know,
She's got
looked
style.
good. It tied in the pink from the tie.
Yeah.
She did really awesome last week with styling as well. So she's got it. She's got like the full picture going on, and a lot of them don't really.
Yeah, and that's important because
Totally.
we see other designers get trashed for
For
their
exact
taste.
styling.
Yeah, well, they just make the dress and then all of a sudden it's an afterthought of the shoes and the purse.
Right.
Yeah, and that can definitely kill a look. Jeremy,
Definitely.
I thought his look was boring. The jacket was kind of ill-fitting. I love the idea of being inspired by your grandma, but it
But
didn't do anything for me.
I don't
it
think
was a red lace jacket.
I don't think Grandma's showing off her belly button
Yeah,
in that outfit.
I think he was trying to make something matronly look
Sorry.
a little modern.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeremy. It was
Yeah.
it was beautiful, but the wrong.
And in every other
proportions.
one, like that, for this one, it was hard for me to see the actual bow tie. Like, I liked that I could see the bow tie in almost everyone else, and I could see how they played with it, how they, how they took that bow tie to the next level, or what, interesting things they did with it. And with this, I couldn't see it. And yeah, I wasn't really a fan.
Braden, I thought the top was dope. He had used all those bow ties. Yeah, I love that word. He used the bow ties and hand sewed them together. It was backless. It was a crop top, and then he had a tweed suit to go with it, with the crop jacket and the shorts. I thought the model looked great. I thought it was edgy, really fun, and well made.
And this top was made with more of a fall color palette of bow ties, like a mustard yellow, a maroon red, and like a hunter green mix of colors. And he laid out all the bow ties vertically and then sort of made it look like suspenders,
Yeah.
the way that the straps came up. It was really cool. It could have gone trashy if he had done it in the wrong way, but I think because he put it with the jacket, it
Styling
made it
again, too. Yeah.
more accessible.
And his model wore it very well.
She worked it.
Yeah, she totally worked it.
But we weren't so sure about the arm bracelet.
Oh,
What-
I
I
like
mean,
that.
what do you call that?
It's like an
Armband?
arm cuff.
Arm cuff. Yes.
sure.
I didn't love it. The
It
cuff was
didn't seem
unnecessary.
to add anything.
Oh, I liked it.
You liked
Okay.
it?
I did like it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that it added just, there was no other jewelry, I don't think, anywhere else. So
Yeah.
it kind of fit like, this is this.
A little surprise under the jacket.
Yeah.
Ken's look, I thought it was boring, cheap looking.
You know what?
I don't
really-
even remember it.
But it was
Anybody else want to
It was
add?
actually pretty good for.
It
stood out
good.
to me.
It was the black
one was
dress.
it?
It was black with a little bit of white at the
And
top and
he
the
didn't
exposed,
like the exposed
red
zipper on the back. Yeah.
I couldn't even. Where was? No.
It was in white collar. You know what? Go ahead.
Didn't like that red zipper because it kind of went like an S curve. He didn't intend to, so he was kind of I don't know about
It
the
was
zipper.
so
but-
commercial. And
You know what though? What I'm really disappointed about with Ken and the bow tie episode, boy's got a bow tie tattooed on his chest. How come we didn't see that? Mention it? Dude, there was nothing about that bow tie.
He should have come out shirtless.
He should have come out shirtless
or with
like,
a deep V-neck
yeah,
t-shirt. Or
something.
Go big.
I felt like
Or go home.
he would have won this challenge since he has the bow tie tattoo and he always
Yeah,
wears
I was
a bow
looking
tie.
for something big from him.
Or at least we would have gotten a 10-second clip. That would have been entertaining.
Yeah, or he would have explained why he had a bow tie tattoo on him.
Yes.
Maybe he wants to be a penguin.
Maybe.
Penguin.
Miranda, she made the what is that houndstooth
Yeah,
suit? It had the cocktail length skirt, pencil
A
skirt,
pencil skirt, which she's
Cropped,
done
boring.
almost every single episode.
Totally boring.
crop jacket, and then I didn't like the green satin top that she used. It just looked like a cheap fabric that she cropped last minute, so it had too much volume.
Yeah, it looked like it was tucked under.
It was
didn't-
tucked under. It
Yeah,
wasn't
but
even
like
truly
she could have
hemmed.
she could have cut it and it would have looked better.
It would have looked better cut.
Yeah.
She just shouldn't have made that terrible last minute mistake. It was so much cuter tucked in, and it wouldn't have looked too old fashioned because the model was so cute in it and it fit her so nicely. I was like, finally, Miranda, and then makes it into a crop top.
And it looked all weird too because it was a high-waisted skirt.
Yeah.
So like to have then like the fluff, like the crop top fluff, like it just didn't look cute at all.
It was the wrong proportions, and a lot of these models, of course, are very tall. So you're making someone that could appear short-waisted even more short-waisted because they have such long legs. It doesn't work for me.
Helen had the taupe-colored chiffony dress. I don't know how to describe it. I didn't hate the dress. I didn't like the bow tie detail, but the dress didn't hate me.
I didn't hate it either.
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
I actually really hated it. And look, I think Helen
us how you really feel.
I think Helen was going in a good direction to begin with before the critique with Tim, and then she sort of lost her way. If she should have, she should have just sent it out more as a structured cocktail dress, like knee length, without all the accoutrement on top of it. She had this crazy blue,
Hated the
belted,
baby blue.
belted
Oh, I
like
like the baby
suspender
blue.
bow tie on top that didn't even look like it went with the dress at all.
Yeah.
There
And
wouldn't have
then
been many colors that went with that dress.
And
Baby
then
blue,
the-
brown, gray, black.
she didn't need to put that on there in that way. I think she could have incorporated the bow tie. Even what if it was just a little simple belt with a bow tie or something?
Something.
Like a girl wearing that to work. But then the bottom of the dress was really an afterthought. It looked like some chiffon that she had like tied in a knot on one side. It looked like, what do I
liked
do
it.
with this?
Yeah, she really gets her butt handed to her, like with how they were like, well, why'd you win last week then? You know what I mean? Like the construction was so bad, and it made that I think was the little fire starter to the whole Sandro experience because she was already feeling terrible.
Alexander, he made a black raw silk suit. I liked the suit. I hated the bow tie detail. It was just too much.
The suit, I wish they had talked about it more because the suit itself was really well done and really beautifully made and fit the model perfectly. But that mix of color bow ties, it was all primary colors. So
Oh, I loved it.
it looked like a
I loved
clown
it.
suit
It
on
did,
top.
and it looked fun, and it was bow tie. It made like the pleats of what a clown would wear. Like I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
I guess on the right actress on the red carpet,
For
it
the
could be
right
cool.
occasion, but like for the right, a lot of these things they're not ready to wear. You're not gonna buy a sombrero dress and wear it. You know what I mean? But like it was a showstopper. Like it was like, oh wow, and the suit looked great, and it was just happy and bright.
I was
liked
a
it.
fan of the suit. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I liked it.
And I don't know.
I'll wear that, Alexandra. You can gift that right over to me.
I don't know what Sandro was putting together for this challenge, but it was all a mix of different dresses on one dress.
I just didn't like the fabric. It was like a cheap looking pink satin, and it looked like a dress I've seen before.
Yeah, it didn't have a good hand. Like it didn't lay right. It was all just like, let me put this here and scrunch this up and put that there. You know what I mean? Like
Almost arbitrarily, just, okay, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go over the top because I can, because I want to stay true to who I am, but he doesn't really know who he is as a designer yet, it
Right.
seems.
Then Sue's black dress with the bow tie detail. I thought it was under design. I hated
Seaweed,
it. Boring.
kelp, octopus.
boring.
But those names are more exciting than the dresses.
She was my least favorite.
Yeah, it was.
Justin. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the worst dress, but it was the one that left you wanting more. It was a little boring.
Yeah, I just thought it was underdesigned.
But speaking of boring, Justin, okay, I liked some of the detail. I liked the piping. It was a flattering shape down the front of the model's body with an A-line skirt, but it really didn't look well finished around the arms to me. But I don't know. It was fine. It was a safe
I mean, I
dress.
like the use of the bow tie being subtle and stuff, but I think overall it was boring.
Yes, very, very forgettable. If I
Yeah.
didn't write it down, I probably would have forgotten it, sadly.
I thought it was a pretty dress. I just thought I couldn't even tell where the bow ties were, and it was boring.
I don't even
Yeah.
know who Justin is yet as a designer. It's just kind of, he's sent out a lot of navy, blue, and black.
Yeah.
But
And then-
some are better than others.
Kate, she did pants and a top, so it's something different. I like the color of the top. I wasn't in love with the pants. Sorry, ladies. The fit was good, but I didn't like the leather detailing. I would have just preferred the typical tuxedo line. I'm
Thought
sorry.
they were sexy pants, and I want to wear them.
I thought they were sexy pants too. But and I was a fan of the shirt, but I wasn't a fan of the fit of the shirt. I felt like it was a little poofy.
The shirt and the pants did not belong in the same outfit.
Yes.
They were two pieces that would look good in a collection
Right.
together, going down the runway with different pieces. Yeah.
I thought it was whatever. I wasn't impressed.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
Not
that's why
impressed.
she was only okay in
That's
the
why
running.
she doesn't cry.
Yeah.
Karen, too much polka dot going on, ill-fitting pants. I can't.
It was my worst.
Those pants made her model look pregnant.
It made me dizzy.
They should have focused on the front of those pants a little bit more. It was really.
It wasn't even like
all
it was
over the place.
pregnant. It was like there was like a belly bubble. Like it wasn't like, oh, she just
Yes.
looked pregnant from the top. There was just this pouch.
And these
a
are
very weird placed pouch.
These are models. Imagine a real person wearing those pants.
Terrible.
The crotch, I think, was too low or something. It just
Yeah.
didn't sit right on her body.
This
Yeah.
season, they just can't get crotches right. First with Sandro, and now this.
Karen has shown not a very strong skill set for sewing and structure so far.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name yet, so that's.
She's
that's
got the
how much I
crazy
care.
bright red hair, like really.
No,
really
I know.
bright,
I'm
but-
just making a point. You know, she's
Yes.
like, I'm boring.
So I don't know what was
Alex-
going on with the judges this week, but I thought Alexandra should have won the challenge.
My favorite by far.
So sick.
So
so
expensive
good.
looking.
So classy looking. Oh my god, we all agree.
And even in the workroom, she told her model, bitchy, a little bitchy.
What did I tell you guys about the Swedes? Their style is
Yeah.
off the hook.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
it
$1
was-
million
It was
for
very
200.
modern, sleek, sophisticated, and sexy, without looking like something out of like Tron.
Yeah.
But it could have gone that way. But there was a slit up the model's right leg that hit in the exact right spot, so it wouldn't go trashy.
White done right.
Yeah, it was white and gray, and I think a little navy.
It was
It was.
We
so
all
good.
wanted to wear
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Alexandria.
And it would work for all of us.
I thought she was gonna. I thought
You know
she
what I
was
mean?
gonna
Like
win.
that's yeah.
I mean, Brayden, no disrespect, your outfit was incredible also. But Alexandra, I'm watching you, girl.
Yeah, Alexandria is sick. She's so
Yes.
good, and my favorite right now. So let's get in
Ooh,
before.
your favorite. Ooh,
by
yeah.
far. I like her style.
She's got good stuff.
All right.
All right, before we get into the winner and the loser, let's talk about Sandro. First off, he's on the stage and he's safe. You're freaking safe. And he calls the judges out and he asks, so please tell me what's wrong with my outfit or critique me. I want critique. And Zach Posen says, it looks like an outfit for the walk of shame after an award show.
Amazing.
Focus your taste, yada, yada, yada. And of course, Sandro is offended.
Of course. But he stood there in the safe group and asked for criticism.
Right.
Instead of saying, thank you, he said, what's wrong? What's wrong with my dress? Why don't you like it? Instead of just.
I have to give credit to Zach Posen because he took that. He took the questions and turned it right back around on you. How Sandra was like, but I want to learn. He's like, this is not Project Runway training day or whatever.
students.
For students.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and he could have, clearly Zach Posen is well composed. You know what I mean? Like he could have been like Sandra, really, and he could have like ripped him apart, and he was just like, "That's not what."
And he could have eliminated him right there and right then, but he didn't.
I think I don't know.
I don't
if
think
Zach
so,
has that
yeah.
power.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but he went tick for tack with Sandro in each of them. Like they're one-liner kings, and I think that's why Sandro was threatened by Zach because
Yeah.
who has
It's
the
like a
better
pissing
one-liners?
contest.
He's like,
Exactly.
Zach Posen is stealing my thunder.
Zach
He
had
didn't
some
say
good
that, but
one-liners.
I think he should.
Yeah. And that, yeah, so he was escalated when he went like back into the room anyway.
So
him
Ken and Helen. Well, it's really him and Helen.
Well, they started it.
After the safe group walked off the runway and went backstage, they all started talking to each other and addressing Sandro's behavior.
Well, Helen calls him out because she goes, "I just got my,
S.
torn apart, and you're standing there like defying these judges. It's disrespectful," and he doesn't like that. So she gets a little loud with him, and he says, "So please, your voice make down."
Yeah.
I can't even finish
Voice
this.
make it down.
So
Yeah.
please, your voice make down.
And Ken calls him out. And I wanted to
Ooh,
say,
I love Ken.
Ken, I love you again.
I
Yes.
love me some Ken.
He said, calm the down.
He said, "You out of order."
yes.
Yeah. You out of order. Sandro was out of order.
He was.
Oh,
And it's funny, like, because Sandro, I feel like he eggs a lot of this on, and he, like, I didn't expect him to break like that. Like, they pretty much broke him. Helen and Ken broke Sandro. And he got up, he started flipping him off. He got
Yes.
up, he was screaming. He took off his mic. You could see him ripping his mic off. He walked down the hallway, and when I knew he was going to get kicked off when he started, like, he threw the mannequin down, and then he
Threw
walked
the
out.
curtain
He, like,
off.
pushed some of the people backstage. Like, I get that's good TV and all, but like
No,
that's
great TV.
Great, but it's a step out of line. It's a step out of line.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't condone like getting violent. I don't condone him slamming the camera at the end. You don't do that. That's expensive equipment. Lifetime is not going to have that.
Right.
exactly. And this is a high caliber show. They're not going to put up with someone just
Yeah.
It's not real world.
completely. Yes, exactly. Completely putting down everything that they're about.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some more positive stuff. Let's talk about
Yes.
why you two started breaking down and crying.
Oh my goodness.
Like little girls.
Well, we first have to say that
The winner?
Braden was the winner.
Yay!
Yay, Braden! Woo! And
well deserved.
well deserved. Yes. Even though we all liked Alexandria's better,
I know,
but,
But they were both fabulous, and
They were
either
in
one,
different ways.
Either one could have deserved it.
yes.
and
And then Braden proposed to his boyfriend on the runway.
yeah, of 18 years.
Of 18 years.
And his boyfriend's name is Josh.
Yeah.
And he proposed. He looked straight into the camera and asked him to
You're gonna-
marry him.
She's gonna cry again, you guys.
Yeah.
And Heidi said, "Josh, you better say yes."
That was really cute of Heidi to say, and how she said she would go there.
And she
And be a
said
bridesmaid.
she would be his bridesmaid. And he said, "You could be whatever you want."
And then at the end of the show, they actually show Braden talking to Josh via
On
Skype. And, the thing that got the both of us was the timing that was so cute because Josh told him that Prop 8 was overturned and he actually proposed to Braden and not knowing that Braden had proposed to him live on national
the
television.
same
On the
day,
same day,
they
the same
proposed to
moment.
each
So you're
other.
getting a little teary-eyed right now. Yeah, so that was a really amazing thing, and she was like, "We're gonna like." At first, Braden was like, "I was gonna wait to tell you," which answered our question if he was gonna wait or not.
Yeah.
But because he proposed, and that's kind of awesome. Like they both got proposed to.
Yeah.
Because they
but it
both
was a
got
week
to
after.
ask.
It was a week after.
Yeah, it was 1 week after.
Yeah.
But still, they both got to propose. And a lot of same-sex marriages or proposals, like, they don't both get to do,
Yeah.
any marriage, you both don't really get to do it. So
Yeah.
I feel like that was,
It was really sweet.
yeah, it was really sweet.
And the loser, like I was talking about the Amber Alert, is Sandro because he is missing in the streets of New York.
Yeah, he
Sandro-
disqualified himself.
Sandro,
Yes.
call us on AfterBuzz. We're looking for you and we're worried.
He eliminated
Come
himself.
visit us, Sandro. Now that you're off the show, maybe you can come in.
Sandro.
Sandro,
Come visit.
you could storm into our studio if you really want to.
No.
Yes, he could. He is more than welcome. We are women.
We're not gonna get into a fight with him.
Sandro.
You know, he can rule the show if he wants to for an episode.
Yeah.
Why not?
But I think that was really cool when they were before they did the last looks. Tim came in and was like, you know,
very serious.
He was so serious. Like, we have a situation. Sandro is missing, and then you know. And then they cut
to Nina Garcia. She wanted to laugh.
She was laughing.
She was laughing.
She was like, okay, I've been here long enough where I know that that's not really serious, Tim.
Yeah.
Nina is
so
hilarious.
serious.
Yeah.
Love me some Nina.
And then, you know, I thought that it was cool that they actually put, after that, you know, they put the people that could lose, you know, like the people in danger up anyway, and just told them, like, you guys are all safe. And then Miranda's outburst after that, to me, I was kind of like, when she was crying because she felt bad that Sandra was gone and that she got to stay because she would have thought she thought she was going to go. It's like, girl, be excited, regroup, and go get ready for the next challenge.
Pull yourself together.
Ain't no future in the front, all right? Like, you know, she's happy inside. She's like, thank God that was a crazy Russian.
Yeah.
But also, we need to add
who you loved.
Who I loved.
I don't want to leave this part out. Tim Gunn, when he came into the backstage area and saw all the designers sitting together, he was actually choked up himself,
because
crying about Brayden's proposal.
Yes, he came in and said something. So
that was really cute.
yeah, it was a really dramatic episode. You know what I
was.
mean? Like, lots of things happen out of the ordinary for the show.
Marriage, tears, death,
Missing.
and a missing person.
Yeah,
But he's
all
I'm
on
sure,
Project Runway.
I'm sure Sandro's not really missing.
No, he's not missing.
I don't know.
He's okay.
I hope so.
Sandro.
Sandra, where are you?
Come to LA.
Did Sandro tweeting? Has he tweeted?
Oh my God.
Why are you not on top of that?
Okay, next week, you guys. So we don't have any news this week, but next week we will find Sandro's whereabouts and let you know. Let's give everybody our Twitter handles or where they can find us. Steve?
You can find me at IAMSTEFZ on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Runway Queen.
And you can follow me on Twitter at _Alina23. Thanks for listening, everyone.
All right, take care.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.